be a night market to kick things off here on Lijiang. This is 3 in a row. We had back-to-back Lijiang yesterday.
Yeah.
Coming in with a third now.
It's keeping the Lijiang streak.
I'm going to take a guess, and we can revisit it, but I think we're going to have Achilios for our second series.
All right. Well, I'll hold you to that guess when we see our second series begin.
I'll put a dollar on it.
Oh, man. All right. Big gambler over here.
A US dollar, because I want it to be worthless for you.
Yeah.
Unless you want to go to a bank. But
well,
here we go.
Look at this. You know, it's going to be Ryan versus Ryan. No surprises. This is the map where you see the most Winston, but not going to happen here. As we do see Lastro, you know, on the Zen, as this is his signature, is to build these trances faster.
Yeah, has been fantastic at that throughout. They going low. Stalker as well, going to get tagged up. Point getting ready to unlock in 5 seconds here, and so far no one really even stepping onto it. Still just going to be battering each other here as the orbs fly back and forth. Lastro and Duns both going to be neck and neck. StormQuake make their way over towards the point, trying to get this cap coming through. Lastro going low, receives a bubble to stay alive. Move back on a Kaiser, tries to push back up into the front line. Agnes, the first one to get dropped right before that rally comes online. Now Shubil going to get knocked out of the mech. Sound barrier still going to be committed by Gen.G. They still want to take this fight. They want to try to win it here. They'll take it, dropping lower and lower, nearly going to be taken down, and will do so here as Proper invests the Graviton Surge. So multiple ultimates coming out at the start. Level's going to get caught out, skirts his way around the backside of the point while he waits for the rest of his team to respawn.
It really hurts that that sound barrier was used from Levels. It was a good idea in theory to try to turn that fight around because they needed it desperately. He built it faster than Amy, but now they're not going to have it for the reapproach here despite the grab being down.
Well, that's going to be the bash into the Shatter. Kaiser going to get dropped despite that Transcendence coming through from Lastro. It's just not enough to keep him alive. Base answering one back, gets rid of Levels, will delay that next sound barrier even further. Gen.G starting to work their way over onto the point. StormQuake, not sure if they're going to be able to really contest this one phase. Nearly gets taken out of the mech. The flip will come through, only 32% gain.
Already, you know, we're talking about Umte, his prowess on the Rhine. He's winning this matchup right now with that Shatter. Kaiser's got one available here. Does not drop it there.
There we go. We'll go ahead and try to throw that one down. Graviton Surge is going to be locking him up. Bomb into the back, looking for a pick. Kaiser the first one to get dropped. Magnus pushes forward, does manage to find a kill on the Suljen. Chasing up. Will be able to get rid of Lastro. Spams his way up to 84% for that next Transcendence, so not too far off for that next approach. But will lose out on the armor, crucially. Graviton Surge coming in actually from Proper. Locks them up. They're looking for the fight right in front of the dropship. Kaiser does manage to get one. Answering pin out from Umte in exchange of the Brigidas. The rest of Gen.G trying to make their exit, but Umte will get dropped here right at the finish.
Okay, this is a little bit rough now for Gen.G to hold this. And they're gonna, looks like they're just gonna keep the rally here and give up the control of the point over to StormQuake. Someone needs to get on it though.
Yep.
That was actually a few percentage points probably wasted there for StormQuake, but they wanted to keep it safe. Okay, rally now being used for the reapproach, and Shatter is gonna hit
again. Shatter does make a connection. Kaiser gonna have one of his own online. Transcendence out from Lastro, helping to keep him alive. Levels finds a boop off the side on a Proper. Getting rid of that enemy Zarya. Kaiser now gonna be locked in. Agnes finds the kill. Maybe just another very swift flip coming in, as they will be able to finish off phase. Of course, not going to be investing that self-destruct here at the moment. Good shift, boop there, onto Amy, weakens him, pushes him into the corner, and that will be Gen.G regaining control.
The biggest tool that Gen.G has, the biggest advantage they have, is that they have this Transcendence. It's going to make it really difficult for Proper to even finish this grab off, since he's not even halfway there yet. And that means that, okay, look at this.
Good check.
Yeah, just checks the positioning. But that means that this approach for StormQuake is very difficult to pull off.
Okay, well, that's going to be the grab in. Bomb up over the top of the wall. Answering one out from FaZe. Managed to find Levels, but Shubil will get Suljen. And FaZe cannot make it back into the max zone. 2 people down now for StormQuake. Lastro getting tagged up, trying not to be a third. Seems like he will be able to survive.
And if they had the Transcendence, Proper could have built a grab in that fight, might have been able to use that to try to turn things on the next approach, but he still doesn't have it yet, and I don't think he's going to have it in time.
Rallies out from Sujen, armoring them up. Agnes now going to be matching. High energy from Stalker. These right clicks starting to rip through them. Kaiser has the Shatter online, trying to come around the corner. They boop. Mag shield comes up in time from Umte. Completely denies that ult away. Good coordination so far for Gen.G. Pin coming down. Umte going to be pushed off the point here for the moment, but Dun still has that Transcendence rolling. Will be able to top him up. Answering Shatter comes down, but it doesn't matter. It's an absolute slaughter in favor of StormQuake. Managed to get the flip here. 59% moving up as Gen.G hit OT.
And that's all it takes. Lastro gets the trans. They're able to build the grab in the fight. And then Kaiser comes in with swings with the left clicks, with the fire strike damage there. And if you look at the follow-up push here for Gen.G, they have the grab. There's no answering trance here, so this could be a fast flip back, but that could be denied if the positioning is good. And look at this, Umte's dead.
Yep, Shatter, great setup coming through there. Kaiser manages to nail it. Bail off the side, Gen.G knowing that they barely have enough time to get one more tag in. Rally forward.
They want to just camp this.
And they're thinking better of it here. Playing back, Graviton Surge will lock them up. Stalker pushing forward, trying to build that energy. Sound barriers in. Somebody has to make their way over to the point. Seems like Levels will be able to do so. Rally coming out from Agnes. He is getting melted down as his Stalker for the armor. Barely helping to keep them alive.
No one's on this.
Flip's going to be coming through. 99 to 99. Proper able to find the first kill, though, as Agnes will go down. Kaiser tagged up. Gets the armor pack here from Sul'Jin. Tries to stay alive. She'll match over to the side. The flip comes back through into StormQuake's favor. Shatter down. It comes around the corner. Umte locking up a few, but instantly gets melted. Grab in from Proper. Locking up the remaining members. Trying to kill them off, and it seems like they will be able to do so. Shubil going to be taken down. Pilot form not going to be able to last long, and they cannot get Agnes back over to the point, so dangerously close. But StormQuake will be able to take this first round.
I really like the decision there by StormQuake to drop the grav into the wall to kind of keep them kept in spawn. That meant that Levels was really going to be the only person who could tag the point, and he had to go in by himself. Now, there was a worrying moment there for a second that StormQuake didn't realize he was back there, but they obviously did. They sent FaZe to track him down and made sure that the overtime didn't tick down after that very brief capture. So they knew that if Levels goes off on his own like that, that's all the AoE healing gone. So we're going to have a brief pause here.
Okay.
But all the AoE healing is gone. You have the speed boost removed there, and then you could collapse on him. FaZe comes in there at the last second. They take a kind of 6v5 fight before that in the meantime. So knowing that they have this grab available and that they can use it to slow down the approach of Gen.G back to the point, that's a really tough call to make in this chaotic 99 versus 99 situation, but they made it instantly. Like, there was no hesitation. It looks like it's an issue with Sul'Jin's monitor just based on the tech looking at the monitor itself.
Yeah, should be able to get that taken care of. Pushing his way back up, so maybe a quick fix here. Headset's coming back on, so we should be able to jump back in momentarily for the next round, which is on Control Center.
You guys would be surprised how many times people celebrate and high-five after a round like that and actually knock a cable out. And it's just as simple as making sure that's plugged back in.
Well, it seems like it is.
Yep. So, no harm here, no harm done.
Well,
perhaps not. Spoke too soon. You and I are, every time someone's in the spawn room before the map starts, everything we say is the opposite comes true.
And now maybe it's with now it's with another player. No, it's still, Sul'Jin still has the headset off here, but
yeah. Well, he's like, no, it's not fixed. In fact, English commentators he's like, you can't see my monitor. You don't know what's going on.
That's very true. That's part of the problem is I have no idea what's going on. Maybe I could contribute a solution.
Well, he's using his hand warmer. It's a little bit colder today than it was yesterday, but those are used even in the summer.
Still very warm out today, compared to the last couple of weeks. It seems like we might have to have a cable swap.
Yeah, it seems that way.
It's come down to that. That's good, as long as it's something that can have a cable swapped. I've been people have followed me on Twitter lately. They would know that my cat decided to chew through my webcam cord as well as my Stream Deck cord that I use for personal streaming matters. And those cords are not replaceable. They are hardwired into the devices.
Oh, I'm just glad.
And yeah, that was very fun.
I'm just glad your cat's okay, though. Chewing on some
trust
electricity.
Me. I'm very happy that she's fine. But I was also very upset at losing about $200-something worth of hardware.
Well, it is a bit of a shock that most cables are kind of proprietary and you can't actually just swap them out.
Yeah.
In 2018, because we have a lot of universal cables now, like micro SB, mini USB, like anything USB related. USB-C. And all these cables that you can use for most things are obviously very easily interchanged. And if it's funny because usually the cheaper the product is, the more likely you're just going to have a basic cable that's not proprietary. But the more expensive it gets is where you're like, oh, I guess this is just hardwired in and I can't just unplug it and get a new one. Oops.
If you're going to have a hardwired cable, have the decency to make it a braided one. Cats can't chew through those.
Yeah. They also don't get tangled. They don't. Braided cables are like massively superior to other types. I mean, even these cables here, the old like my mom's landline home phone cables that they have on these headsets here, like those are decent as well, but they can be chewed through, I guess.
Yeah.
But the regular cables, man.
Oh man, it's like a coma situation all over again.
I know you and I haven't had this in a while. This is fun.
We made it almost all the way through the group stage, Wolf.
Yeah.
And now it is occurring. It's not even, I wanted to, I decided to take a look. It's not the same seat that Como was in when he had his famed crashes. It's on the same end, but it's on the opposite side of the stage. They were on the left side. This is the stage.
Well, someone knocked that camera over. Meanwhile,
side. Well, yeah, I got to swap out the monitor. It would seem.
Yeah, they're gonna have the whole thing swapped out. So we were talking about cables being swappable, but getting the backup monitor.
Oh, my cat got in here and she chewed through the monitor.
She chewed through the monitor.
Damn it, Nova.
She clawed through the screen.
I can't believe you've done this. How did you even get here? Oh man, the street from us. So yeah, they would go in. They work on manga and comic books and all that kind of stuff, doing graphic design for games. And they would show up and they would make some really fun, intricate signs based on the players and different champions and whatnot, and then have those in the audience.
Yeah, that's right. That was season 2 back in Shinchon. It looks like the pause countdown is counting down. All right. Looks like we're ready.
Okay, looks like maybe now I can believe it. And I can believe the comp from StormQuake. Okay. I thought that this was just some tomfoolery, but they're actually going to be going for it.
Let's see if this pans out. FaZe is going to want to get up on the high ground on the bridge, and that's going to be where he's going to operate. As you can see, he's be heading up there. It's Laster. Actually, he's not going up there. I thought he was.
So they
had a bad angle there.
They're just trying to build the tension. That's why all these pauses came through. They wanted to really just build up this moment to reveal that this is, in fact, the actual comp.
It's Sogan is up there on the McCree. There's a very good McCree player. Very little known fact about him.
He hasn't gotten to play too much so far, but Rocket's going to be coming down from above. Proper looking to build up for that barrage. Going to be over halfway now. Getting a couple good shots in here. FaZe silently somewhere on that Soldier 76. Going to be looking to build up as well. He's got too much damage into himself, but Lastro comes up with the kill on the Stalker. Follows up onto the mech there. Takes down Shubil, knocks him out, gets the kill, and that'll be the cleanup. StormQuake. Triple DPS looking pretty darn good here.
Yeah.
Swap's going to be coming through.
Gen.G wants to try to counter this now. They'll be running the Ana with this. Try to look for some extra denial of sustain for these heroes, especially the solo heroes they're going to look to pick off. Stalker's on this Sombra, so he's also looking to kind of hack and take out the Soldier here.
Yeah, he sees FaZe.
This is not looking good for Gen.G, though. They need to be a little bit more decisive about how to deal with this composition, because right now they're kind of outranged and they're not really committing into killing anybody. FaZe is still fine, by the way, about to have that tack visor as Proper just continues to rain hell down. FaZe is going to have a big tack visor soon. Shubil's like almost demeched. He's in the wrong spot.
Yeah, he did get popped up. They tried to keep him alive. Barrage out from Proper. Manages to find both supports. Kaiser finishes off Shubil. This is going fantastically so far for StormQuake. Used 2 of their ultimates there, but still going to be holding on to the other 4.
This is just not what Gen.G expected at all, and they're not, unfortunately, able to really collapse on one member. That's how you destroy this comp from StormQuake, because it has no sustainability. You just find the Soldier with 3 or 4 of your members, you kill him, then you try to collapse onto the McCree, and then later the Pharah if possible, if you're not going to be just trying to blind counter the Pharah with range, which they're not. And this is looking rough. Like, they're trying to grab the point, but they're not accomplishing anything here.
Stalker going low, face swapped over onto the Tracer. Soulgen not going to be able to find too much with the Deadeye. It's a little bit of damage in. Tank trying to play back around the wall to keep himself safe. Gets up Stalker, but he'll jump out of there here again. Push up onto the high ground. Proper getting focused down, but still is going to get pocketed back up. Transcendence is in from Laster to keep them alive. Sound barrier to match here for Gen.G. FaZe the first one to get popped right as that pulse bomb becomes available. Stalker looking for the hack to try to lock down Kaiser, unable to find it. Now looking for Proper, but he's just a bit too high up in the air. EMP's ready to go. We're already at 99%. They don't contest here, though. The flip comes through. Gen.G gaining control for the moment. Now that's going to be the pharmacy gone, and they can follow up for the rest of the kills.
Okay, they have the EMP to try to shut down StormQuake's next approach. It's not going to be, yeah, it's of course going to be the full swap after you get wiped like that. But the EMP is going to make it tough for this first push to really get in there and do anything. And if Gen.G can catch them at the choke, like this, then that's going to shut down the push. Like, this is over.
Yeah, EMP's in proper, getting dropped if they're losing out on the shields.
And now,
just follow up here.
If Stalker can consistently build these with this choke controlled, then it's going to be like we're watching, you know, the beginning of Season 1, where we saw a ton of Sombra play in Contenders, players like Guard. But Gen.G is actually going to make a very risky decision to swap heroes here. If they lose control of this for 1 second, it's over. So, pretty tough call here they just made.
Well, sped back up. I'm getting stunned up, taken down. Kaiser swinging his way to a kill there. Very good start for StormQuake as they try to get control back. Destructive not going to find anything. Stalker down to 6 HP. Will be finished off. Phase coming in from behind, taking him out. Transcendence turning back over onto the point. Helps keep Proper alive. Agnes now gone. The flip nearly there for StormQuake. Gen.G maybe getting shut out right here. Pin looking to come down. Not going to find the connection onto Shoebelt. But now we'll go ahead, pops him out. The OT going to be ticking away here on the point. And StormQuake will be able to take this one in the end. 2-0 on Lijiang Tower.
Very creative, triple DPS style, splitting the DPSs into different areas, having the McCree on the high ground there with the Zenyatta, while having the Pharah do AoE damage, and then FaZe being split on the side. We talked about it from the outset. The FaZe is a very good Soldier 76 player, flexing away from the D.Va, and he ended up being very accurate there. I liked the swap to the Sombra, and what Gen.G was trying to do there was very successful, the first EMP. But it's just, I think, simply too much to ask to try to put the Zarya back in that late instead of keeping the Sombra, because that allowed StormQuake to push through in 6v5 there. By the time that Stalker rejoined on the Zarya, he was out alone. Kaiser had already gotten the charge kill, and it was just going to be the end from there. I think they should have tried to continue to build EMPs and play Zarya-less. I think that would have been the better way to maintain that. It's a tough call to do that, because then eventually there's going to be a grab. You're going to be trying to fight this team of, you know, 3-3 that has sustainability and big tank ultimates when you don't have an EMP. I think that will eventually happen. But I think they might have had a better shot at it. They took the complete swap call. And on something like Hybrid, I think that's the right move, because you have time to respawn, and you need to be building that grab. But on Control, when they're at 99 already, all it takes is one lost team fight, and then the map goes to StormQuake. Bit of a rough start here for Gen.G. I think in terms of the 3-3 versus 3-3, Umte did just fine against Kaiser. It was a pretty even matchup there, Rein versus Rein. So I would not be shocked to see Hollywood as the map choice coming through for Game 2.
We'll find out about that in a bit. First, we'll go ahead and flip back through some of the highlights, starting off with Night Market, with some very fast back and forth flips on this round.
Yeah, this one was crazy back and forth with, I mean, honestly, good shatters on both sides. But the big takeaway, I think, was the grab we saw from Proper at the end, where he was able to kind of keep Gen.G in and force Levels to come kind of back cap. We saw that obviously that wasn't going to work. It was only going to work in the short term. We're going to see that in a moment here after this fight, no doubt. So that was Kaiser just doing the massive damage. This is the grab I'm talking about here, where we see this committed in. And it's like, well, Levels has to rush out. Can't get the... he gets the cap, but only briefly.
Yeah. They lock him off the point as they regain control. I mean, fantastic start for StormQuake on this, and then just, you know, good to identify exactly when they needed to swap off, move back over to the 3-3. Couple hacks there just to really dismantle it, but they couldn't stick through with that composition. And then Gen.G, like you said, a bit too late to try to go for the swap over for the Zarya. So unfortunately for them, they do start one down, but they need to get a victory, so need to be looking to just go ahead and try to get these next 3 straight. You still... I think one of the biggest concerns that you have is that if you do start winning, say you take the win on Hybrid, you take the win on Assault, you know that Route 66 is going to come out, and you know that they're going to be running you with that quad DPS again are you going to be able to play around it?
Sure,
I don't know.
I mean, they found the answer in the end there on Lijiang to the triple DPS. It took some time, and it's a lot easier to do on Lijiang where it's a limited space versus Route 66A where it's way more wide open. It took some time to kind of figure out how to do it, but I think they can defeat the triple or quad DPS on Route 66, and they're going to be aware of it. Like, you're kind of already alluding, they know it's going to happen, so if they've prepared well, I think they can do it. But yeah, it's a challenge, right? It's not necessarily favoring Gen.G, so that is the scary part here that they're going to have to run up against. So I think winning this next map is essential, though, because winning the next 2 maps, really, because you don't want to have that 4th map be the one that you lose the series on and lose playoffs on, which I think is kind of what you were alluding to there. Yeah,
I mean, even if they do get forced back, to that final tiebreaker with Nepal, I mean, even just thinking about it, because we haven't had that many tiebreakers, especially since the quad DPS has kind of been coming out, StormQuake will absolutely run it on there, especially on Village and Shrine, where there's a bit more verticality, a lot more fly space for the Pharah. They will definitely go for it there.
I think even on Sanctum, you could make an argument for it, because you can have the Soldier on one side, the McCree on the other, like triple DPS, not quad, but similar to what we saw on...
Yeah, that's true. They could just do this. It's a different iteration of it, you know?
Yeah.
One less DPS, one more support going through. Who knows? But it seems like we are ready to figure out what the map choice from Gen.G is. Whether or not it's going to be Hollywood or Nimbani.
Gen.G not really known for dive. We have no substitutions, so with Umte staying in, I'm kind of leaning towards Hollywood. They had a pretty good 3-3 versus 3-3 run there on Lijiang until we ran into the quad DPS, right? So if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. But it will be Nimbani, so a bit of a shocker here to me. We did see them run a little bit of Sombra. Obviously, Stalker pulling that one out, having some decent success for a very brief time until he swapped back to the Zarya, right? We saw the retake happen there, and StormQuake took the 2-0 on Lijiang. But this is a bit of a surprise here, and I think it's a risk that could come back to bite them. Bit of an unusual map pick here, where we're looking at StormQuake, who can run the dive. We know that. So let's see if this pays off for Gen.G. Kind of lean towards no.
Well, big risk. Need to get this win. Need to take the series. They will be starting us off on the attack. Gen.G, we'll see what they want to piece together and what we're going to be seeing from StormQuake for this defense. Right now, Pharah going to be, I guess, just killing herself off with some rockets, but they have the Mercy playing forward onto the points. So it seems like maybe just going to be the Brig Pharah. No Sombra in the mix.
Yeah. You've got the Brig for anti-Genji defense, and you've also got burst heals at range for the Pharah. So that's really nice. And this is one of those things that we know that StormQuake can run this really well. Now, look, Gen.G is already kind of blind countering this with putting Stalker on the McCree. They're expecting to see the Pharah defense here, so that in itself makes me feel a little bit more comfortable about this map choice because they're already thinking one step ahead. Well, let's see if they can actually make this work, because if this first push doesn't really work out, they might have to swap. And already...
It's starting to come down. Gonna have to try to find an angle. Proper just gonna be playing on the low ground. Now sees that they're gonna be coming up main. Now it's coming through, getting one tag there. Most of these rockets missing or being denied away. Umte, however, the first one of falls. Sugen will come up with the kills. Proper takes a couple tags out from the McCree. Good rockets here. Will go ahead and just force Gen.G back even further. Proper going low, will get taken down, but the res should come through for Amy, you would expect.
That's the pick they needed, though, because they can open this up during the res. They have to commit in, though, and unfortunately, with all the damage here on Deshubil, it's rough. They're going to have to sneak around the left side now.
Too low. Proper playing forward, gets the hit. That's going to be taken down. Into the back of the point now with the barrage nearly online. This is them very isolated. Stalker going low. Just Agnes and Levels trying to keep everybody topped up. And Agnes, I mean, he's got nobody to swing at, so it's just going to be armor packs every 5 seconds or so.
He's just incredibly accurate with these. The barrage coming through from all that damage as well now means that there's that extra threat. Plus a res should be available again now for StormQuake, so there's a lot of survivability here, and Gen.G is actually just going to have to leave.
Yeah, trying to get back over here. Let's just be straight back up at the start of the main drag.
Deadeye is ready now, but I don't think he's going to get an angle here, unfortunately. He's just going to have to left click it. And even if he gets the pick, remember, the res is ready.
Ooh, so close. One more shot would have done it. Would have been able to force out that next res and maybe put him in a position for the Deadeye to try to pop the Mercy. Proper going to be hitting the ground, getting focused out, will be taken down, and actually kills himself in the end. Mirage not going to find a whole lot of anything for them. Phantom the Hammer coming through the res will be there for Amy. Slipped his way into the back, manages to put that far up back into the sky. Stalker armored up, managing to stay alive here for the moment. Gen.G just trying to get their way in onto the point. A couple tags there onto Amy, takes him lower. Proper now going to be alone, pushing forward, looking for the finish. One more shot would do it, but the rocket is going to be good. Proper finds the kill. Now Kaiser nanoed up, running back in onto the point where so far Gen.G has only found one tick. It's getting jumped on, no support ultimates available. The self-destruct going to be coming through, trying to open things up, but they are just sitting inside the bubble. StormQuake perfectly safe there, and now have the majority in onto the point. This Proper finds another kill here onto Umte.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Gen.G, unfortunately. The Stalker losing out that solo matchup against the Pharah is telling that even though Gen.G was prepared for the Pharah here, they're just simply not ready to actually win this matchup. Like, even when you have the counter prepared, if you can't hit the shots consistently when it matters most, it doesn't matter that you have the McCree ready and set up. They're going to stick with this, which is, I mean, I think pretty reasonable given they only have 1 minute left now. They're going to have to get those kills. If they could kill Amy first, that'd actually be better because they need to prevent that res.
Stalker going low again. Kaiser getting a lot of damage as he pushes up. The barrage ready to go. Gen.G likely aware of this. Have to try to reroute. It's going to be back up to the main street, but you can see it's constantly just shuffling back and forth. They have no idea which way to approach. They don't know which way is going to pay off for them. Umte goes in. Dun's going to be taken down. Suljet traded out. Rockets are going to be good from Proper. He hounds down levels. The exchange on the supports drop into the back, however, from the barrage. The shields come up a bit too late. Disconnect there, and Stalker dead. Shubil knocked out of the mech. It's going to be really not even one more push attempt here for Gen.G unless Umte can really hold this one out.
And Shubil should not have been looking the direction he was. Now
It's a body block. It is not even going to let him in.
Nope.
Can't make his way up. Wow. Fantastically done by StormQuake here on the defense.
Yeah, I mean,
we really have to question this Numbani pick.
We really do. I can really get behind the fact that they knew that Proper was likely to be on the Pharah. They ran the answering McCree, and there wasn't even a commitment to Gen.G or anything like that. It wasn't the Gen.G attack, you know, which we have seen against Pharah, because they knew, okay, even that it's very likely StormQuake's going to keep the Brigida. Like, they had exactly the right heroes for the job, but the execution was much better for StormQuake. They just beat a comp that kind of blind countered them, because Proper was just so good on the Pharah, came up with those big AoE hits. And now we know we can play Gen.G, right? And they can run this attack Gen.G Sombra. So you've chosen this map into a team that has already shown that they can absolutely run these defensive comps, this attacking Gen.G, to great success. If you compare the hit scan players on StormQuake to Gen.G, I was talking about Sulgan actually being an incredible McCree. We saw him pop off on Lijiang just before. He's one of those players that you don't realize if you've only watched this season of Contenders what his background is, because he's like Recry in that regard. He's stuck on the Brigida duty, but when you give him the opportunity to play hit scan, which is very rare, it's kind of a Numbani exclusive, minus the triple and quad DPS. When you give him those opportunities, he pops off, whereas Stalker, unfortunately, has just simply not had that background on long-range hit scan. He's flexing over here on their map pick, and it's not working out. He's going to be running this on the defense, too.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be Pharah that comes in on the attack.
No, it is not. It's going to be the Gen.G Sombra, and he is not going to have any opportunity to go back and swap that one out unless he's dead. And if he's gone, then that might just be the cap going over to the way of StormQuake and them moving up 2-0 to match point, forcing a reverse sweep situation for Gen.G. Yeah. Sleep there onto Umte. They dive in. He's just going to get melted down. Suljan finding the first kill. Already a fantastic start. Shots coming down. FaZe's mech going to be weakened. Suljan nearly eliminated. Proper just going to be poking in around the corner here.
One dash reset is all it takes.
Ooh, they get that stun. Reflection going to be coming in.
Here we go.
Able to find the kill, dive up, forces them off the high ground. The tick nearly coming in. They almost grab it. 40.8% is all they need to beat Kaiser. One more shot would finish him off. He makes it up onto the high ground. Stalker, however, does not phase out of the mech. It's going to be the nano boost in proper into the back line. Stalker now eliminated, looking to finish off Dunce here. Makes him lower. The pilot pistol from the side. Shubil manages to find the kill, but now Level's going to be eliminated. Agnes gone down. Shubil
can't remake.
Let's find the hit there, and yeah, he can't make it back through. That's just going to be it. StormQuake able to get it. The one tick, really all that they needed to get it on the first push. And that is them up 2-0. Gen.G has to reverse sweep StormQuake in order to qualify for the round of 8.
And it's looking very unlikely at this point. It was crazy how systematic the attack was there from StormQuake as well. You know, when we saw that stun go down onto the Gen.G, they didn't get the kill, and then StormQuake was like, well, now you don't have that stun anymore. Everyone's going up. Kaiser was like already mid-air the second he was like, yeah, I'm not dead to the stun, by the way. Kaiser was like, I'm going in. We're going to damage everyone solo. You're going to get dash resets. They committed the nano boost, and it was not a mistake, by the way. They did not think that. He had Blade. They committed the nano boost there because like, all right, they just need that little bit of extra damage, and I'm going to get these dash resets, and the map is going to be over. The EMP was unnecessary, but it did prevent the remake there for Shubil, so he couldn't actually further contest the point. Look, the idea is good for Gen.G. They took a risk. They ran these compositions. They were trying to operate around Stalker's McCree, but his execution is weak, and that's a problem. It may end up being what cost them this series. Strategic decisions like this in your last series that could decide whether you go to playoffs or not, you know, we don't see them very often in Korean Overwatch because you just want to try to play your strengths and avoid your opponent's strengths, right? But instead, I think they played to what's working well for them in scrims. But clearly in the matchup between Stalker's McCree and Proper's Pharah, the McCree, the counter to the Pharah, loses out in the 1v1 duel even without Amy. And StormQuake just walks away with kind of this sheepish grin you would imagine, feeling like, well, we won that, I guess. You know, I can't believe they picked this map into us.
Yep.
We've got a good Pharah player. We've got a good Gen.G player in that as well. And I think the Hollywood pick when you've got Umte on the roster was just the safer choice.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird, but now Gen.G backs truly up against the wall. I think it's time for the ultimate redemption arc, Wolf. They have to put Luke back in, and he is going to lead them all the way. 3 consecutive victories. Get the win on Assault, get the win on Escort, take them to Nepal, and close it all out.
There's nothing I want more than that story to come true.
I will lose my mind if this happens.
Yeah, and I think StormQuake probably would as well. I don't know if it's going to happen.
More than likely. We're going to find out, though, when we come back from the break, so we'll see you guys in just a few minutes.